So I recently went to a North American Cup, and it was the first time in a very long time that I had traveled by plane for a tournament. So I thought it would be a good time to make a video to help anyone with additional information when they're traveling. And although I haven't traveled much, I did speak to coaches and experienced fencers and did some online research. So I'll be sharing all of that with you in this video. So in this video, I'll talk about travel documents when you're traveling internationally, equipment that is unique to North American Cups, membership and registration with USA Fencing, a travel hotel, and then packing, travel day, and event day in lesser detail, and just some other and final thoughts. For international travel, you'll need to see, based on the country of origin, what travel documents you'll need, most likely a passport, and some countries may need a visa, so I'm not aware of that. So you'll have to do a bit of research on that. For Canadians, if you are applying for your first passport or renewing, I have heard that it can take months for the passport to be processed. So just be prepared for that kind of wait. And if you need it earlier than that, then you might have to pay for an express processing. For North American Cups, it'll be important to become familiar with the USA Fencing Athlete Handbook. The equipment rules in general are very similar to Canadian domestic tournaments, meaning 350 Newton equipment, also called Level 1 certification, is the minimum requirements for clothing and masks. The same rules apply for a domestic tournament. Everything has to pass through equipment control, so masks, lames, gloves, all cords have to pass. One of the major differences for North American Cups in comparison to Canadian tournaments is that you will need to have your name on your back. These are the rules that are specific for that, and there are some temporary options, like to print your name on marker on a piece of fabric and then sew that fabric onto your back or leg. And for more information, you should check section 2.17 on page 38 of the Athlete Handbook. Here's just the information I got for the Kansas City January 2025 NAC. They allow 2 masks, 3 body cords, 2 gloves, 3 head cords, and 2 lames. For membership and registration on the USA Fencing website, the website itself is very, very easy to navigate, and the information is easy to find using the search or the menus. The schedule for each day is posted when registration opens, and event times are determined at later dates. So when the website is first published, you can see what day your event will be on. One of the pieces of information that we found out is that it's very easy to set up your account, and you should do that ahead of time, and that saves the hassle of uploading documents that identify your age. So they'll ask for something along the lines of like a birth certificate or a driver's license to verify your age, and that way only events meant for you will be available to sign up. So it reduces the possibility of signing up for the wrong event. This process can take 2 days or longer if there's an issue, but results can be much quicker. Once you have your account set up, then it's just a matter of finding the membership. For international fencers, there is an international fencing membership that you have to select, and at the moment that is 115 US dollars. Once you have completed the membership steps, then you'll be able to register again only for the events available for your age and gender. And at the moment, it's 215 US dollars for each event. Once you have completed your membership, there'll be a barcode for your membership number, and you should either keep this barcode easily accessible on your phone or print it off, as you'll use it to sign in when you uh, attend the event. This is the registration event page for the April 2025 NAC. So just shows you where you can select the event you want to register for, all the prices, and all the important information can be found on this page. And this is what the final schedule would look like after the start times have been established. And again, that's subject to change as well. There are lots of factors involved when choosing travel days and air flights that I won't go into great detail, but some of the considerations are touring the city that you're going to, or shopping locally, or shopping at the tournament itself. Um, if you don't know the time of your event yet, pretty much everyone I talked to said schedule to leave the day after. There are some exceptions to that, but these events, I wouldn't necessarily say they run long, but they're not in a rush. And again, you also want to leave time for maybe going to equipment control the day before, or see vendors for more fencing equipment. When you have connecting flights, it was recommended by our flight company and other fencers to try to have some time between the flights. The flight company said about 2 hours would be beneficial. Flights tend to be delayed, and there's numerous reasons why flights are delayed. And then if you're traveling during the winter months, then de-icing can delay you further. So there's always benefits to leaving more time. For hotels, there was a group housing link on the event website, so we just went through that, but you should be aware that those hotels and rooms sell out very fast. For baggage, um, the main feedback I received was that airport baggage handlers will not be gentle with your bag. So you want to have something rugged like the All Star bag on screen, and borrow a teammate's bag that's like this if possible. And just recently, I had a teammate come back from an overseas tournament, and his bag was destroyed. That's so bad that he had to get a new one. Um, if you don't have a bag at the moment meant for travel, there are lots of bag options. So you want something solid in construction, will not bend easily. Straps won't get caught in conveyor belts. And another thing to be aware of is the weight restrictions for oversized and overweight luggage for your airline. For our flights, it was 50 pounds, which is about 22.6 kilograms. And the oversized limit was 115 linear inches when you add the length, the width, and the height, which is 292 centimeters. I have 3 bags here on the screen, which are possibilities if you haven't gotten a bag yet: the Leon Paul bag, the Samsonite Golf Hard Case, and an SKB Golf Hard Case, which is a bit smaller. So all of these were popular cases that I saw at the NAC. We chose in the end to choose a Samsonite hard case, because there would be less questions at the airport. A golf hard case looks very popular, so airline attendants wouldn't be questioning too much. It was a decent price. It had spinner wheels like a normal airport luggage, and it was easy to move around airports. One problem that we noticed is that it is much longer than your standard fencing bag. so it won't fit in most vehicle trunks, and it would probably have to be, you'd have to put a back seat down. After packing my clothes and epées in the Samsonite case, the total weight was approximately 34 pounds, for reference when you're packing your stuff. It was recommended by pretty much everybody to pack your fencing whites in your carry-on and then pack your regular clothes in your checked baggage. So here's a video of me taking all of my fencing gear and putting it into a very small carry-on case. And it all fit relatively easily. So much so that I could probably added a chest protector and a lame. If you don't want the hassle of bringing your fencing equipment in a checked luggage, there's also the option to ship it using Ship and Play, which is, I guess, the equivalent of a UPS or a FedEx, where you can send your equipment ahead of time, which again can be found on the USA Fencing event website. The night before travel, you could treat just like any night before a tournament where you test weapons and your body cords. Um, you can research how the airport is set up for oversized luggage as well. And if you need to arrive early, to check your equipment bag into another section of the airport. It's important to avoid terms like weapons, swords, and epées. Those are not good words to use in a airport. Instead, try to stick to the words sports equipment or fencing equipment. And I did have another teammate by accident say weapons in an airport, and his baggage was searched very thoroughly. So once you arrived at the hotel, you can check your equipment to see if it was damaged, and if you have time, you can check gauge and weight. This is a map of the venue, which should be available to you, and you can kind of get the idea of where all of the places of interest are, like the armor for your equipment control. As mentioned before, if you can do equipment control the day before, then that'll save you time and stress on the day of the tournament. And you can get to see some fencing as well and how the NAC operates. All the sections are alphanumeric, so each letter has 4 pistes. So for example, A section has A1, A2, A3, and piste A4. Sign in again is done with your membership barcode, so there'll be a table with all the barcode scanners, and you just scan, and it shouldn't be relatively painless, but there are people there to help you. Each day, the Directoire Technique puts up a handwritten sheet to tell you which letter section you will be in. So for my event, my section was B, and then once everything registration closes and the pools are posted on Fencing Time Live, you can see which piste you're on. Also be aware that if all the registrants have been accounted for, then pools may start ahead of time. Just some final thoughts that the tournament itself is very well organized. There's lots of referees, and our pools at least had 2 referees cycling through the bouts. The venue was a conference hall, so lots and lots of room for your bags and to walk around. And then there's lots of signs and TV screens at the venue to help you locate what you're looking for and to get around. And for additional reading, here is a link from IMAX Sport for traveling with fencing bags, and the USA Fencing blog, which has information about going to North American Cups.